Welcome to the second game of the LEC Week 4, where we will see SK versus the Rogues. So, quick little update. SK last week has taken their first win against XL, so they now have a win under their belt. And now they're facing off against one of the best teams of the LEC. And today, we will see how fair they will match, because they're obviously playing against Hansama, Hanze, the man, the AD carry, and also Trimby, which Rogue has always been known for their strong bottom lane, for their good play to funnel resources into the bot lane. Also, side note, I've just between the games checked up on the patch notes for 11.13. So as mentioned before, Hullbreaker is enabled, and a theme has changed. Chains, the item is enabled. There have been some slight changes towards the Strikebreaker and such, towards the mobility items. And we also have, believe it or not, some buffs on Aphelios and Xayah. So seeing an Aphelios in the first game, coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. But now we will go into Rogue versus SK, and for the first time ever, I'm standing in front of my desk, so if I sound a little bit different, it may be in regards to that. So, blue side, we see the Rogues. Right side, we see SK. I'm interested in the bans. We will probably see Akali, Gwen, Nocturne bans. And here's already the Nocturne ban, which is from the side of Rogue. Maybe targeting towards the Hansama with the Kalista ban here, as we see right from the get-go. Might also be some maybe shifts into the current meta. As mentioned, Akali gets banned, just as I say, maybe some Aphelios, maybe some Xayah bans, I'm not really sure. Rumble has been adjusted a little bit, so his overheat damage, I think, got reduced a little bit. Not sure about that, though. Yeah, what else could there be? They might also think about banning the Fiddlesticks, because God knows if Inspired were to ever pick a scary Scarecrow. But we see casual bans, we see the Lucian, we see the Thresh, we also might see a Braum ban here, or maybe something different in regards to a Nautilus, or some jungle ban. Maybe the Fiddlesticks, maybe a Rumble, maybe a Gwen. Who knows? We will see soon enough. And it is indeed the jungle ban. It's the Xin Zhao ban for SK. So now first pick, Oduamne, locking in the Gwen by the looks of it. Gwen obviously still a very oppressive champion at the current patch. 11.12 as 11.13. Gwen is an absolute bane. Here she is. Yeah, well, also the Mundo rework is finally in, by the looks of it. Maybe it was last patch too, though, I don't know. Hovered for fun, obviously. The Aatrox is a thought about. I am not really sure if Genix really wants to go that far and take the never mind, forget what I said. Here is set pick, either for a mid, top, or support. Could be, obviously. Lee Sin had his E adjusted in this patch. Still a pretty strong pick for lane or a jungle. So here we see the Lee Sin locked in. What will be the answer for the Rogues? Might there be some shift towards the bot side to already lock in some AD carries here? Or do they really want to go that far and Inspired picks just his own familiar jungler? We'll see. But I think it is safe to say that the Lee Sin and Set are locked inside their lanes. But here comes the Varus pick. So pretty interesting, a solid choice. Prowler's Claw got adjusted in this patch, but no problem for Hans, I would assume. Still a pretty solid choice to pick a Varus here. There is the thought about the Renekton, so it might also be a Gwen jungle pick, which is very interesting. Inspired has shown some stellar performances throughout this summer split. Very, very strong. Here comes the Viego pick. So jungle, not really sure what's about to come. Support, not really sure either. But by the looks of it, they really want to blow the team fights out of the water with the Viego, with the Gwen, with the Varus, with a ton of poke, also with a ton of execute damage. A set hover? Am I seeing this? Okay, never mind. It's the Ezreal lock. By the way, also Divine Sundra has been adjusted in this patch. So Divine Sundra on range champions, no longer as strong. So Ezreal with Divine Sundra, still good. Not as strong as in patch 11.12 though. Braum ban from the side of SK. What else will there be? What are they going? I believe they won't target jungle anymore because it's out of the way anyway. With the Lee Sin, I think they will most likely target either a mid lane champion or support champions. So I'm pretty interested to see. Maybe target. Okay, yeah, here goes the mid lane target. Here is a LeBlanc ban. And SK are also going to probably target the supports even more. Either go with a Nautilus ban. They're also going to be like, okay, never mind. You just don't want to see some big mean crocodiles running around the map, which is fair enough. I don't really think that the croc is that good of a ban though, because looking at things, I don't really believe. Yeah, well, whatever. I guess we'll see where this ends up. Here comes the next ban from the side of Rogue. They are gonna take the ban, and it will be a Victor ban. Now, will it be the support? Will it be a mid lane? What's it gonna be? SK Gaming, pick your poison. I think it's gonna be the support pick first because Rogue have to answer with the rest of their team comp, and here's an Alistar pick. Okay. This is I'm not really sure what to think about the draft of the side of SK at the moment, but Rogue hovering the Sona, is it really gonna be the Sona? I don't really think it's gonna be. There's a Corki hover. Corki obviously still a good solid choice. Never mind, shifted off to the Orianna, which shows off that Rogue really want to play some decent kind of terrain control-y fights with the Gwen W, with the Orianna Ball, with various Qs and Ds. So they really want to kind of stay, at least it looks like it, kind of stay out of the way of SK at the moment and really just pick their time to fight. And as I say, they lock in the Nautilus, which completely topples over my thought process here. I don't really know what to think about this draft anymore. Okay. And the Silas is locked. Okay. I am... Boy, if Larson doesn't build Everfrost, I'm gonna be pissed. Because there's 4 melee champions running into Larson's face right now. And the same for Oduamni, but I think it's just gonna go Riftmaker because Riftmaker is the best item on Gwen because of the massive healing. So Oduamni probably gonna opt into this. But if Larson doesn't build Everfrost, I don't know. But this is apparently the team comp we're running. We have a semi front to back team fight composition from Rogue. If Inspired gets some resets going though, it will be an absolute nightmare for SK, I can tell you that much. If he gets either the Silas or the set, he can just wreak absolute havoc because they're all melee. Since they're all melee, they might be able to collapse on the Gwen if they ever get into the spell shield. But this is probably going to be countered by the ultimate of Ana. But we'll see how this turns out. This is just a draft. Well, some games are decided in draft the longer the game goes, and if you have the better scaling comp, obviously the fight is decided in draft. Here we are on Rogue versus SK. And now, we're loading into the Rift. See the players reintroduced. I'm pretty interested in how the Trimby Hansi lane will go into the direction for Jesu and Lilip. Lilip, the newest addition to the SK roster. Beats is still in jungle, and not in support role. Now, we will go ahead and check out what's up. I hope I can see the minimap. Because it's further away from me now than before when I was sitting, but fine. Every team just pretty much covering our jungle entrances. There's not going to be too much action going on. Trimby coming back from the base right now. Okay, so he got the sweeper. He probably placed his sword and got... Yeah, he placed his ward, got the sweeper, And now we are off to the start of game number 2 of week 4 of the LEC. And yes, I'm talking way too much right now. Where do I think is this game gonna end? I think overall, my gut feel tells me that Rogue scales infinitely better. Because of the reasons of 2 meta champions, Gwen and Inspired is a champion now. Gwen and Viego. Orianna scales insanely good into the late game, same as the Poke Varus. I think if it comes to an all-out brawl and to chaos, I think SK will thrive in this department. Very good trade onto Jezu, nothing to come back from. Very good trade. Nice hook by Trimby. The thing that strikes me a little bit off is that Trimby is in this composition, which I think they would have liked the Braum, but it got banned, I believe. So I think a Taric also could have been a decent option here. But yeah, enough of the drafts. We're on the Rift. It's live. And see just full clears going on. Inspired by a little bit faster than Treats at the moment. The whole game ahead, already on red buff. It's clearing birds. And Larson trading with Blue a little bit in the mid lane here. Blue actually taking a little bit of a worse trade. He there a little bit too much, I believe. And Orianna also has still a cookie and another corrupting potion left. So in regards of trading, Blue is pretty much out of resources. See the top side crab contested by Inspired already, and the mid lane prio is there. So there could be easily something happening here, but Larson, oh boy. Okay, nothing's gonna happen here. Streets is just roaming by, chunking some HP off of Larson. Bim enhance. Lane has reset, so they will try to contest this crab, but it's not that easy if your lane has no prio. Crab goes over to the side of SK, so the jungle is even as of now. Carrying on, the lanes are pretty much even as of now. Oduamne a little behind in CS, but it's not the end of the world. As mentioned, I think that Gwen might, or most likely is going to scale better into the late game, so we will see how far this game even develops. Larson back with a TP, so is Blue, so TPs have been matched. No real play is going to happen from the side of mid, but there is an option. Oduamne, by the way, playing with Teleport and Ghost. What's that about? This is going to be an interesting game and a half right there if we check the top side sooner or later, or if Oduamne ever teleports into a play. So it is most likely going to be determined by the top side. If there is some skirmishes going on, most likely some gank either into top or bottom, then the fray is going to start off. Treat's not going to be able to get a solid gank off here because the wave is pushed up that far, so Gen X has to just, yeah, take it because this wave is going to come into his tower inevitably. Odo just playing this very safe and sound, but Inspired now on the prowl, also looking for a decent gank, but Gen X using wards and vision, which makes perfect sense to me, and also to him, so he doesn't get ganked. Inspired now allowing with push to shove this wave under the tower, which, guess what, allows Oduamne to go for a safe reset. Probably doesn't have to burn teleport. Well, he definitely doesn't need to use teleport. He just can walk back into the lane as his first couple of items completed. In the meantime, bot side, not really too much going on. Anzi slightly ahead. Yeah, well, that's pretty much just breathing so heavily and gasping for air, just like the ancestors ever told. Bot wave now pushing in. Would have been a nice attempt if there was some Inspired man coming from the river now, but his pathing does not allow for that. Rogue actually could set up for a freeze there if they really want to, which it looks like they are going to do. Yeah, Trimmy moving into the bush right there. Yeah, that's pretty good for the side of Rogue, which is even more advantage towards their bot side. Trimby even leaving, so all of this XP, all of this gold is all for Hansi alone. And one purple or yellow bull in this case. A little cut out of position here. Trimby on the move, covering Inspired on his crab, not allowing Treats or Lilip to come in to test this green crab. In the topside department, as mentioned, not too much happening. This is probably going to be just a stale lane. Can't really kill each other, I believe, until point in time where they take bad trades, teleport into a certain fight. Then everything is going to go haywire. But hey, a slight gold lead for Rogue and Trimby on the hunt for Jezu, but Jezu playing it safe. Standing behind the minions, not getting hooked, not getting autoed. Pretty well done. Larsen pushing his wave under the tower and going to snack his first plate of the game. By the looks of it, which is very good. Treats is here to cover again, so blue can farm up this wave. Odo and Genex here taking a little bit of a trade where Odo comes out on the short end of the stick. Probably just going to run around here and go for some vision on the Herald or either some topside plays if they really want to. No, he just takes the fruit, which is okay as well. So he recovers some resources, just walks back under his tower. It's perfectly fine. The Herald will be a pretty interesting thing to take though, because there is no prio at the moment, because mid lane just has reset and the topside prio, while Odo has just showed up, and Inspired is going for some invades here, but Trimby is here. Trimby is here. And Alistar is not here, so Lilip is not here, but Trimby is. So we'll see how this will envelop, because Treats is just farming up his birds. Little cheekies. And Trimby is just snacking some XP off of it. Larsen here out in the open against Lilip. Oh, Trimby. Okay. That was a bit of an over-eager hook, I might say. This could have turned out a little worse than to be expected, because Larsen had no mana. Larsen doesn't have mana, he's pretty much useless. There was... yeah, okay. Luckily nothing happens for the side of Rogue, but it could have been way worse. And yeah, there's vision established as shown by the spectators and or casters. There is a ton of vision towards the top side of SK's jungle, which Rogue can just use for info. And they can do something else in the meantime, or contest Herald whenever they want. There's also a crab spawn right now. SK also has vision on Herald, but Odo has no prio. So Genex in the prio department or on the push department is in an advantageous position, but Oriana is as well. So Larsen has a prio and Genex has prio, but Trimby's here too. And so is the entire top side of SK. So we will see how this Herald fight goes down. Is this Herald fight even worth it? I don't really know yet. But Hansama's necking some plays. Why would you shift the cam away? No, go back. Go back. Oh, what's happening here? Okay, nothing's happened so far. Okay. Inspired going in. The bull is out of position. And in the backline comes only Omni. And the TP is matched. Here is blue from the teleport from base. And disaster strikes. The Herald is on the side of Rogue. But first blood goes over to SK. So was the Herald that much worth it? I beg the question, because the entire bot side of a Rogue's jungle is up, and Drake is up as well. Yeah, well, with Herald you get plates. I understand that, but I think that, well, I believe that the bottom side jungle would have been a little bit more worth just to take, because there's not really much going on, because the dominance, well, here we see a quick recap of the fight again. We see Inspired going in, getting knocked back by the bull. Here comes the teleport back from Silas. Silas is coming in from the backside, and I think, I don't even know who died, I can't remember. Trimby is gonna die here, right? Yeah, that's first blood, Trimby dies. But everyone else getting out to safety, but the Herald, as mentioned, is, or the gold at least, is taken by Rogue, but the crash will never happen because it didn't pick it up. And that is, yeah, not too great. And to come back to the point, what I was saying, Trimby and Hansi really dominating their bot side lane. So there's no match there. And also Larsen always has prio because he pushes faster than Silas does. and offer safer distance than Sylas. So if Sylas ever wants to shove his lane, Orianna can always trade on him as long as she has mana. So I think it would have been actually a little bit more worth to just give the Herald and take Dragon. Because to get a crash, you either have to commit to one of those lanes, or you just place it topside and crash Odo's tower. I'm not really... that's just gut feel, right? I'm just saying what's on my mind as of now. I don't know off the top of my head how much gold that actually would be. Fine. Yeah, we see some heavy focus on the Dragon obviously right now since Herald has been taken. Next juiciest target is one big flying worm. With a Y. Worm. Not a worm. It's a worm. Yeah. Whatever. It's fine. So, Ocean Drake again. So, RNG strikes us with another Ocean Drake as the first dragon of the game. So, really interested to seeing what the next couple of dragons will be. There is a fight going on in topside. Odoamne trading onto Janex. Inspired's here though. Here comes the ultimate, and Janex is dead. The pile driver to safety didn't save him. So, he dies, which will result in plates for Gwen. And if you can do math, you know that gold plus Gwen equals pain. So that's not too great. Janex has TP if he really wants to TP topside lane. Treats off of that, starting off the dragon because Spad has shown towards the top side. This was the first dragon, probably towards the side of SK. Here comes a teleport. Treats just takes his dragon. C'est la vie. You just trade kind of objectives or information is used to pick up certain objects, which is totally fine. Prince was around, he picks up the dragon, it's totally okay. In the overall state of the game, Rogue, surprisingly, is still in the lead. Because there is plates that have been funneled or have been taken for either lane. So no plates for SK yet. So 2 plates on top side for Odoamne, 2 plates on mid for Larsen, and 2 plates on bottom for Hansi, because Hansi stays in his lane and just farms. Then he has a ton of CS and he has a ton of plate money, and then he's super rich and just one taps your AD carry or whatever. Just things Hansi does. And by the way, I'm not saying this because I've seen the video of the LEC. I've been calling Hansi even in week 2, I believe, or week 1, whatever I casted for. I'm not just a repeating parrot. I'm a thinking individual. So yeah, whatever. We're back to the game. And I can't believe my eyes that I see no Everfrost on Larsen. This is well, it's fine, I believe. I'm not really sure how the thought process of Larsen works. Maybe this will work out in the end, it's fine. But I believe a Everfrost is a more solid choice because you play into 4 melee-ish champions. Because yeah, well, Lee Sin as a gap closer, he still in the end is a melee champion. I think you want Everfrost against that. Even though they might stack some magic resist. But yeah, I'm kind of torn on this one. I mean, you will probably not burst anyone with the Ludens, but yeah, that's just what I think, what I believe, what I think about this game as of now. Because I mentioned it before, and I think Everfrost is the better quote-unquote choice. But it's fine. Jesu here with a Divine Sundera. And now Larsen shifting to the side lane. And this is the most familiar, what you've seen from Rogue do for a lot of games, is have 1 in top lane, 1 in bot lane, 3 in mid lane. Kind of this 1-3-1 setup. Have either or your AD carry or mid laner or top laner, like shuffle through and be on the side lanes and whatnot. Just funnel resources into those people who are currently strong at the moment. But if we take a comparison, we see already that Hansi is, or Hansama is not going for the Prowler's Claw. He already went and took the Duskblade. So this is one thing we have seen change from the last patch or from last week to this week. Because Whereas was always played with the Prowler's Claw before. But now, since it has been changed a little bit, I think the lethality got lowered a little. It's not as quote-unquote good anymore, and that's why he's going for the Dusk Blade. Excuse me. Pardon me. Alright, here's some stats about Larson between spring and summer. What is going on in this game? Not too much. We're actually just waiting for 1 minute until the dragon arrives, and it will also be no Infernal Soul. It will be either Cloud or Mountain Soul. So, yeah, that's fun. Hopefully it's not Cloud Soul. Please, spare us. We don't want Cloud Souls. Like, if we ever get to a Mountain Soul and Rogue gets the Mountain Soul, it's gonna be an absolute disaster for SK, I believe, because they cannot pop anyone. They will just sit back and get their shields back and just poke them into absolute nothingness. On the other hand, it's going to be the same for Rogue. So if it is a Mountain Soul and we roll the Mountain Soul, it's going to be one spicy fight if the soul point is on the platter or on the silver plating. Now, Trimby might be in trouble. Booking away to safety, Hans backing off towards the top side, where Inspired and Larson are. They're just playing this safe, they're not overstepping too much, the lane resets, and the dragon is about to spawn. SK with first move, they have 4 people in mid, and they will take this dragon mostly for sure. The Herald is placed in the top side. I didn't even realize it was taken, I might have missed that. Here, top tower is taken, and the push goes on. Larson already on tier 3 tower. Will they just give it? I think they will just, yeah, they just give it. I think they should give the inhibitor as well. I think you should have just let it charge the inhib. But Odo might be in trouble here. Picked off, pile driver away, and ooh, the shield bash. Oh, Odo Omni! Oh my god, the dashes and flashes and, well, flash, he doesn't have flash, but he has ghost. Ooh, Odo Omni getting away with just the nick of his HP bar. Very low there, but luckily surviving. That was a very good play by SK, and even played better by Odo Omni to survive there. And we see a demonstrating lead by Rogue in the money department, because we have about a 4.5k gold lead, which is absolutely insane. And if we take a look at the CS numbers, it will resemble why it is that way. And also what you don't see anymore is the plate money that has been taken. But you see which towers are alive and which towers are not. So that equates out to the lead that we have at this point in time. On someone using his ultimate to just poke the Alistar a little bit, baits out the ultimate of Alistar as well. Alistar will not have his ultimate for the next team fights, but so will Hansi not have his ultimate. But I think it's on a lower cooldown by the looks of it. Yeah, it's recharging super fast. Okay, and here comes the fight. Trimby caught out a little bit out of position. I don't know why he's here. Inspired in, Hansama in, and here goes the execute onto Lilip. Treat's almost dead. Treat's jumping in, and here comes a reset for Viego. Will Viego be able to catch up to Jesu? Here comes a ward jump, but the Q misses, goes wide. Jesu on the run. Here comes the Heartbreaker. Inspired still on the run. Odo Omni is here too. Ooh, Jesu! And another ultimate by Inspired, and here they're hunting down Jesu. Like, okay, wow. They really wanted yeah, they really wanted him. They were really hungry for this kill. A little bit, I don't know why Trimby was there, but yeah, it's still fine, I guess. It doesn't really matter. The gold lead for Rogue ever expanding and ever growing. Contorting and ever expanding. Yeah, Genix, what are we gonna do here, huh? Not really sure what to do. Just rolling around in his bot side. Push. Odo Omni is gonna catch all this farm. He's gonna shove it out. And get this pushed towards the tower of SK. I think Genix, if he wants to, can set up a freeze. Yeah, whatever. So, kind of fun fact. There's 2 shutdowns on Rogue, and both of those shutdowns don't have any kills on just assists. Yep. Funny. Okay. So Rogue didn't get the Baron off of this play. Sadly enough, I believe if Jesse would have died, they would have gotten the Baron off of that as well. But still, the pressure keeps on. It's the 1-3-1 of Rogue. Taking jungle camps wherever they can off the side of SK. And SK don't really know how to answer this push here from Rogue. Rogue just are completely or ever so slightly creating leads and edges and edges and edges, and all of this just comes out to this gold lead they're on right now. Unless they like want to go for an invade, but it's pretty hard to take all of this control of your jungle if there's no towers to support you. And here is someone caught out of position, which is Inspired. Will Inspired live? We will see. Here comes the teleport by Blue. Blue jumps in, hooked off by Trimby. Trimby is in the front line and just tanking and tanking. Orianna ult not hitting Blue because he has stopwatch, but Blue just dies because he has the stopwatch, and now Odoamne is in trouble, but Odoamne just tanks off 3 people, heals to his life content, Heartbreaker onto Lilip, and Genex is running for the hills, so is Treats. Genex is most likely, that's one set right there. Too much to say about that one. They really thought they had someone caught out of position here, but this kind of just over-eager, just trying and trying, but Rogue are so strong at the moment in this game that you can't really try to match here. And funnily enough, we see, I know I didn't really mention that, but itemization on the side of SK. We see 2 Gore Drinkers, and here we see Treats. Treats going to try and look for this for the steal, but nothing really going to happen. Trimby just being one big boy and just tanking off Treats here. Will Treats re-engage is the question. They're really playing with fire here, but Treats is just gonna back off. They take the Baron, everything is good in the world. To come back to the point I was trying to make, SK don't really know how to find kind of the edges here. But here's Lilip and Treats, and they really try to commit onto Inspire, but there's no one there. There's just those 2 people here. Inspire flashes out, dashes out, also ults away, I believe. Or no, he doesn't. He just ults them back in. And here's the fight from the sideline. And there's just Nautilus just like standing there being like, yo, what up? What you gonna do? And this is like the thing that that Rogue really like to do. And Orianna is just covering Odo here, so Odo doesn't die. And then comes the ultimate. No, the ultimate was before, because it would have killed Blue, but Blue just Sonya's or stopwatched. And this is yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough when you're that behind already. I mean, you have 3 Drakes, and it is going to be Mountain Soul, which is kind of interesting. And Rogue just completely giving Drakes left, right, and center. They don't really care. They just apply pressure, 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 pressure. They're using the Baron here. Lilip on the flank here, which is actually not looking too bad. Treats in the mid lane, catching Inspired off guard. Will Inspired die? Not this time, Mr. Inspired. You are... You are not dead. Lilip, you are dead. Lilip, my boy. Minecraft cow sound. That's what Lilip just did. It's just, yeah, Rogar. Yeah, they come in with their purchased sledgehammer and just tearing down every wall and every tower that SK still has left to offer. And this is just the caliber of play we are seeing right here. I mean, SK, fair enough. SK really had some tough times here with the roster. And I think this game is over by this point. Blue, Zonyast again, sadly in the middle of Rogue, and SK just, it's lights out, boys. It's just lights out. Nothing that can be done. Larson with a James Bond KDA. Larson, the man. Not anymore though. I think he now has like 008 or something. Now he has his first kill of the game. Nice. 11-1 is going to be the score that we will end this game on, most likely. But as I was saying before, I think that SK really has some trouble. Ooh, Treats coming out with some flashy plays here, but in the end, it's not going to matter. Well, that I can finish my sentence finally and steadily. I feel like that SK just has a ton of trouble with their current roster changes they went through in the first couple of weeks of the LEC. Because Blue wasn't there in the first place, then Treat swapped from support into the jungle role, and now Blue is back, now Lilip is here, and all of these kind of weird roster changes, or all of these things are kind of taking a toll on your performance as a team. This is kind of, I think, what SK comes down to this split, because they're really like, or at least I think that's what it is, because you can't really find consistent footing here, and also they're playing against one of the best teams of the LEC at the moment, which is, as you can see right here, Odo, Hansi, Inspired, Trimby, and Larson. Into the frame right there, find your grind, and that's it. Rogue just take it. One more win for the Rogues, and as next will be a spicy one. It will be the Bunnies versus the Lions. So we will see Misfits versus Mad Lions in the next one. Maybe I'll see you there. Hopefully. Until next time.